business. Women in business who act
How are y'all? My wife has a 1989 Honda Civic.
lost and alone on some forgotten highway, traveled by many, remembered by few, looking for something that I can believe in, looking for something that I'd like to do with my life. There's nothing behind me and nothing that ties me to something that might have been true yesterday. Tomorrow is open. Right now it seems to be more than enough to just be here today. Everybody. Sweet, sweet surrender. Live, live without a care, like a fish in the water, like a bird in the air. I don't know what the future is holding in store. Don't know where I'm going. I'm not sure where I've been. There's a spirit that guides me, a light that shines for me. My life is worth the living. I don't need to see the end. Sweet, sweet surrender. Live, live without a care, like a fish in the water, like a bird in the air. Sweet, sweet surrender. Live, live without a care, like a fish in the water, like a bird in the air.
Another old favorite we've actually played here, but not in quite a while.
There's a reason for the sunshine sky. There's a reason why.
Well, it doesn't start right. I didn't start right. I can't play right. You know, you got to do it in the right key to start with. You know, your fingers want to do one thing, but it's not right. I play John Denver, and it's always in G. So.
There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high this be the season when that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit night with your lover.
Everybody,
just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. That's the season. Just let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. Well, there's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candle lights. Must be that season when those love lights shine all around us. So let that wonder take you into space and lay you under. It's love and embrace, just feel the thunder As it warms your face, you can't hold back.
Everybody,
Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Just let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, that's the reason.
one more time.
Just let your love shine like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Just let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, that's the reason.
Again, good morning, everybody. In Gulfport, Mississippi, welcome. Let's all stand to sing the opening song, Breathe.
This song is serious. Breathe. Don't take it lightly.
Breathe, gotta let it all go. I'm gonna breathe, Spirit tells me it's so. I'm looking for answers from the divine, but I can't seem to open the door. These questions are burning a hole in my heart. They all leave me here wanting more. So I'm gonna breathe, gotta let it all go. I'm gonna breathe, Spirit tells me it's so. I wish that I wasn't feeling this way. I wish things were different somehow. I want to remember all the truths that I know and live in the power of now. So I'm gonna breathe, gotta let it all go. I'm gonna breathe, Spirit tells me it's so. Now the Spirit tells me, all the voices tell me. Now I hear me tell me too, that I must breathe, gotta let it all go. I'm gonna breathe, Spirit tells me it's so. They say that intentions can change your whole life, depending on where you set them. I can, he can, now I know, and I think I'm gonna let him. So I'm gonna breathe, gotta let it all go. I'm gonna breathe, Spirit tells me it's so. I've gotta breathe, gotta let it all go. I'm gonna breathe, Spirit tells me it's so. I've got to breathe.
Keep on breathing.
Take a deep breath in and out. We open our hearts and minds to receive divine inspiration this morning at this very special place and time. May we allow Spirit to inform us of what is ours to release and what is ours to embrace. We open up, we release, and we receive as Spirit moves in, around, and through us. We are grateful for this glorious morning and for all those who are serving today of their gifts and talents. May we each be blessed in a special way. Amen. Welcome to Unity of Gulfport, Mississippi. Do we have any first-time visitors? Hello, hello, welcome. And where do you come from? Yeah, Pascagoula. He's driven a long way. We're going to make sure that you get what you need in order to stay in touch with us, and we'll stay in touch with you. Thank you, hon. Okay. We come to, oh, we have another person? New? No? Uh-oh, somebody got outed. Okay. All right. Hello. And where are you from? Where do you come from?
I just came from Texas.
Where in Texas do you come from?
The Beaumont area.
Beaumont area. Well, you've got other Texans around you. Yeah. Welcome, and we'll get you a packet too. Thank you for coming. We come together to affirm and celebrate our unity, our oneness with each other and with the source of all who is. In that spirit of unity, let us pause to unfold in light and love all people in our community and in our world. The candle of unity signifies the light within each of us and our connection to the source of all who is, and so it is. Let us affirm our faith. I have faith that God is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. I have faith that God provides ways when to human sense there is no way. I have faith that God is guiding me in all ways. My health, happiness, and success are assured. And now let's all sing, I'm so grateful.
Could y'all stand and sing this one to receive on this? And it's a great place to be to receive.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful.
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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful.
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 I'm so grateful. before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful.
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 And I'm so grateful. You are so beautiful, such a moving audience today, full of gratitude. It was a pleasure to watch. Thank you. And thank you for your music. Now, Joan Bignoli will come on up and read the Daily Word.
Good morning. That song kind of got to me. I have family who took a direct hit on that storm this past week, and so I'm feeling a lot of gratitude. They survived. Their house did not survive, but they have a place to live. They're on a boat, and they are surrounded by people who love them and care for them and have given them an opportunity to work even during this, after the storm. So I thank you all for your prayers and all the prayers that we will be sending out to those Floridians who did not survive, nor their belongings to their houses. Thank you. So the word for this morning is kindness. Sunday, October 2nd. Kindness is the language of my heart. I set the intention today to give from my heart, to show compassion and kindness to everyone I meet. I begin by being kind to myself. I take time for spiritual self-care and prioritize good nutrition, relaxation, and exercise. I'm gentle with myself when I come up short, filling my self-talk with words of affirmation and compassion. Being kind to myself makes being kind to others easy and natural. I am patient and understanding, and I seek harmony and accord in my relationships. I let the small irritations go, remaining calm and pleasant. I look for ways to lighten the loads of others, and don't hesitate to offer a helping hand. My kindness helps create the kingdom of heaven on earth. And from Matthew 25:35, for I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. And from my heart, for those who have a desire to help, the Red Cross is an excellent charity. They're giving aid right now, or others that are on their way to Florida. Thank you.
And God bless you, Joan and Joey, and your loved ones, and God bless all of Florida. Announcements are on the slide and are found in the back of the bulletin and in the newsletter. Don't forget about the potluck after the service today in Fellowship Hall. We got some good eats over there. And now let's all enjoy God You Are.
are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe, and your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
Thank you so much for that beautiful song. If anyone has any specific prayer request, we have a prayer box at the back of the room that has prayer request forms you can fill out. Place your prayer request forms in the box that we may pray for them here and at Silent Unity. And now Reverend Judy will lead us in meditation and share today's message.
Roger pats me on the back and says, "Go get 'em." How can I not excel? And my husband's out of town, and he sent me a message and said, "Give 'em hell, so watch out today." He had a hard choice to make. You know, he likes that big equipment and goes to those, there's a swap meet up in Indiana where he's from. So he had a hard choice whether to stay here with cruising the coast and go there, but he went there. I was so disappointed he left, and we had not brought we have a 59 Morris, and it's just the cutest little thing, a Morris Minor. And it reminds me so much of the car that I used to ride to school. We had a neighbor named Mr. Wells, and he smoked and cursed, and he had a Volkswagen, but to me it's just like this little Morris Minor, and he'd be pumping the gas and pulling the choke, was it, that they had then? And cursing, and he smoked too, by the way. And I'm sitting in the back seat of that little car going to school, and one of my favorite memories. His name was Wells, by the way, Matt, and probably a relative of yours. But we did not get he's been working on it over there at his shop in Bay St. Louis, but he didn't bring it to the house, darn it. But when he gets home, he promised that he would, and so I'll start driving it to church on Sundays. It's a sweet little car, but you need somebody following you if you're going to be driving it. So it's not sitting at our house this week, but it will soon. St. Augustine said that when you sing, you pray twice. And we've been doing that this morning, haven't we? Just beautiful music, and thank you, by the way. All the work that you put into bringing this joyful music to us on Sunday morning. So beautiful. So we've been praying a lot this morning already. I've been asked 2 or 3 different times already what our mission is here at Unity of Gulfport. And it's changed over the years, and as things have changed around the world with different types of religions and churches, and I'm seeing that a lot of the churches that are refusing to evolve, and Reverend Alice and I were speaking of that this morning, the ones that are refusing to bring a newer message, that are refusing to evolve with the consciousness of the people of today, that especially the young people, they want no part of it. They want to hear the words of the masters, especially Jesus, that taught over the years. And if you'll look at all of those that we quote so regularly, whoever they were, the Buddha, Confucius, so many wise people, they all have the same theme, and that is to love one another, even as I have loved you. And what we did with all those messages and messengers, what did we do? We worshiped them instead of the message that they brought. And that was the last thing that they wanted. Jesus tried to say in simple terms what he wanted, the message he wanted to convey. And sometimes even today we get that all wrong. By the words of sacrifice, he meant, maybe what he meant was, I want to be the last sacrifice because you guys have gotten it all wrong all these years. You're sacrificing your firstborn, your lamb. We don't need any more blood spilt over this old tradition, okay? He came to tell us a lot of different things. Maybe even the meaning of pork got not to eat pork. Maybe that was misinterpreted too, when all he wanted to say, because he saw so much illness around him from people eating uncooked pork. Maybe the message just simply meant cook the pork properly before you eat it. And so many things have been misunderstood, misconstrued. And if we could just take the words of those who came to teach us to do better, not worship them, but try to do our best. What would our mission be here at Unity of Gulfport? It would be simply to bring the message of truth to the world, one person at a time. To bring the truth of love and kindness, one person at a time. Take that light and that truth out into the world with you, wherever you go. So this morning, I know that we have many, many prayer requests, and we're going to include those this morning with our typical prayer. Along with Joan, we say thank you for all the lives that were spared along the Gulf Coast of Florida. We all know people who live there, and we're just so grateful. Have so much gratitude that Joan's family is okay. Her mother, her sons, her daughter-in-law, unborn child, and the grandchild. All the others, we say thank you for all the lives that were saved, and then for the lives that will be transformed because of this tragedy. We know that will come too. And this morning, as we take a deep breath and allow ourselves to go within to find that inner light of which Jesus spoke, "You are the light of the world," he said. We can each find that light, allowing the light to come in, relax the muscles around the eyes. That allows the focus to go inward, holding the palms upward on your legs. Relax. We say, God, thank you for this place that we might come and be together in fellowship and love and support. May we support each other as we go through the dark valley, on our way to the mountaintop. We hold hands with each other, supporting each other, loving each other through it all. The grief, the loss, and then the celebrations and the new life. We recognize this as the experience of life, and we are most grateful. Amen.
When the worries of your restless mind get the best of you, and you are confused and don't know what to do,
You can rest in me.
I am your friend, your shelter in the storm. I will hear you, keep you safe and warm.
You can rest in me.
When you are lost and in the dark, I am that divine spark that will help you
your heart and rest in me.
When a challenge brings you to your knees, when change seems to be too overwhelming, you can rest in me. I am your beloved, I give you the breath of life, and my arms are always open wide.
You can rest in me.
When you are lost and in the dark, I am that divine spark that will help you see more clearly.
Open your heart and rest in me.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So glad so many of you attended this morning. I was thinking, with it being Cruising the Coast weekend, the start of it, that a lot of you would not come and be here, but here you are. Thank goodness. And already the roads are filled with all of these older vehicles, aren't they? When does Cruising the Coast start? Is it this weekend? Today. Okay. Make sure I get it right. They start so much earlier, that it starts a weekend before the weekend it begins. You start seeing all these cars, and it's really fun. This is a fun place to live, actually. Seems like there's a party all the time, or a reason for it, and so it really is a fun place to live. We've been here 17 years. We came with Katrina, and so when I say that we can relate to all of those in South Florida, we really can. Because we were here with the cleanup and the heaps of houses here and there, and it's something you just really can't imagine unless you have experienced it. And some of you aren't quite old enough to have experienced it, and that's okay too. That's good. So Alan Cohen tells a story of his early career. He was waiting backstage to go on at a studio and go on for an interview. He was following the daily news, and he had a 15-minute spot. And the 15-minute news consisted of nothing but mayhem and violence. And he's sitting there thinking of how in the world is he going to go on and give this talk about joy, and gratitude and how to make your life better just by being positive. But he decided the show must go on, and he did it anyway. And I think we find ourselves that way a lot these days, don't we? There's so much going on in the world. And you can say, how am I going to go on and be joyful and positive and maybe even pretend that all of that isn't going on in the world, but that is our job. And it is our job to bring joy and light and peace to the next person in line. I've talked for the last 2 or 3 weeks about being your authentic self and bringing joy to the world. I talked about a little bit about sociological mindfulness and how it works. And what it is that your true power lies in your ability through your words and deeds to demonstrate to others a better way of doing things. That's just a modern way of saying what Jesus said when he talked about spreading seeds, right? And making certain that those seeds are spread on fertile soil. Now, those are the ones that are going to sprout, aren't they? But Reverend Alice and I were talking this morning about the crevices and the seeds that will find their way into the crevices. And if you talk good enough and long enough and you live that way, then you are going to be in demonstration of what you want to share with others. So our true power lies in our ability through words and deeds to demonstrate to others a better way of doing things. And I told you a couple of weeks ago the practical ways that can happen. We're practical spirituality here, so I share with you easy ways that you can go out and do good in the world. Simple ways. You see a shopping cart that's in the middle of a lane, take it back into the store. Don't say that's not my job. Just pick it up, take it back into the store. Don't worry about why someone left it there. Maybe they couldn't. But that's not our job to judge that. Our job is just to push it back into the store and let it be. When you're going through the checkout, don't use a plastic bag. Take your own. If you're just taking or getting a jug of milk, say, I'll carry that. I don't need a bag, thank you. And you'll start to notice the person behind you will do that too. I always admired my elderly mother because she, no matter what, when they started recycling in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where she lived, she would make certain she had her recycling out to the curb. I thought that was great. That was, gosh, I don't know when they started doing that, but she did. I mentioned David Brooks last week. He used to be a very hard-headed and hard-speaking conservative commentator on a news panel. He's written 2 books, and the second book is called The Second Mountain. And it talks about what he's learned from his life after being at the peak of his job, being a commentator, and having made a midlife change. His marriage of 27 years ended. And whether you're the one that wanted it to end or not, that's traumatic. All the change that comes from that, and the children, everything that changes, that's a trauma. He chose to change his career. He didn't want that anymore. He found that it was no longer fulfilling. And that's a word I'd like for us to think about today, fulfillment, instead of maybe joy or some of the other words that we might consider here, fulfillment. It was no longer fulfilling for him to do that. He had reached the pinnacle of his career, and he decided to do other things. And he's noticed that after he progressed along this wanting something different, and there's a new, different way of calling it, a yearning. I think they call it a spiritual yearning, the golden yearning, whatever it is. There is a yearning for more than you had in your life before. It's a yearning to have God in your life, the feeling of God right here in your heart, where you know God. You want more of Spirit. You want to feel like you're connected to something larger than yourself and all your problems and all the things that we go through and the challenges. But he said that he had an epiphany. He was out walking, and he was sitting by a lake, and all of a sudden the world just went away, and it was him and the wonders of God. And he just had this wonderful experience that we all yearn for, this feeling of euphoria. And I know that some people are able to have that experience more than one time in life, and they are able to experience it on an ongoing basis. There have been those that can. But if you've ever experienced it, you know how it is. I know I had a friend, and I may have mentioned her before, that had gone through a terrible time, and her husband left her. They'd been married for decades. She could tell that he was confused, but that helped nothing, because he still left. And she was going to lose her home, her family, her neighborhood, her community. Every single thing in her life was changing overnight. And she said that one day the pain and the grief was so difficult that not only did she not know how she would make it through the day, she didn't know how she was going to take her next breath. That's how painful it was. So all she could do was just sit on her sofa and stare out at the water and the trees. And she sat there long enough that she said she finally felt like she had fallen through. Didn't fall up into, but had fallen through into a deeper understanding and knowing. And that it never would have come if it had not been for that challenge that she had gone through. And so she gave thanks immediately. She had known during this challenge, somehow she was different. She knew that the challenge was teaching her something, but she did not know that it was going to change her life totally. So she fell through to a totally new reality, and that was that the problem wasn't her. She had blamed everything on herself, and how could she fix it? She saw that this was the other individual, the other things in the world. She no longer needed to control other people and their actions. She couldn't. Even if she wanted to, she couldn't control it. She saw that this was a challenge, and it was still something she needed to get through. But all of a sudden, the pain was gone. Isn't that amazing? That horrible pain suddenly lifted and it was gone. When she recognized that this was a life-altering situation, and she decided to get up, put one foot in front of the other, and make the best of what she saw previously as the ruins of her life. And she was born again. So many religions talk about being born again, and the problem with all these different things is that they've been talked about so much that the person that originally said it was trying to convey something just like I just conveyed there, but then it gets distorted, the meaning gets changed, and all of a sudden the next thing you know it's doctrine and dogma. When the original person that said it truly meant that you can be born again, which means you can leave all of that old thinking behind you and choose something new. And as I said last week, it's really what Jesus meant when he said to the young man whose father was dying. He said, "Let the dead bury the dead and follow me." He really wasn't being as unkind as it sounds. He was saying, leave all those thoughts and ways of being behind. Leave that behind you. Follow me. Follow a new path. Follow your own heart to what's yours to do. And what's yours will know you. It will come to you if you will surrender enough to let go and receive it. Some of the words that I have on this slide are: life is a gentle progression through valleys. We all go through valleys, don't we? Certainly we do. Loss, soaring heights, from doubt to courage, building faith. We have gratitude and trust, love. And peace comes when we have an acceptance and we surrender old ways of thinking and being. And remember, if you were here the last 2 weeks, I reminded you that we are human and we inherited some old traits that we need to let go. One of the traits was pleasing others, because if we didn't please others and we were hunters and gatherers, then we just might get eaten by a tiger because our friend might not be there for us. We inherited that, so we can't really blame ourselves all that much for some of these traits that we inherited. We inherited that, humanity did. And then the other thing is all the stuff that we learned as kids. Wow. Our families, our parents, they grew up in families where they learned certain things for good reason. But a lot of that we need to let go. Stuart Wilde said life was never meant to be a struggle, just a gentle progression from one point to another, much like walking through a valley on a sunny day. Now, how do we choose to do that? Because we know we all have certain challenges and burdens, don't we? We all do. I was reading in one of the Unity magazines, one of the Unity ministers that has become quite successful, and she was saying that In her early years, she was addicted to everything. Drugs and alcohol. Her 20s and 30s, she was a mess and near death and didn't know how in the world she was going to go on. As a matter of fact, she was at death's door when a friend encouraged her to get clean. And she did, one day at a time. Then she found a teaching like Unity that is different and teaches you that you have a connection to the one spirit that we call God. You can call it anything you want to. Source, divine. There's a light within you that is connected, and that your thoughts have power, and the more positive you keep them, the more positive your life will be. I guarantee that. Can't say it enough. The more negative you are, the more negative your life is going to be. Guarantee it. And the more time you spend in the quiet and in meditation, the more you will be able to connect to that one power and that one place. And that the more you spend time walking it, the more faith you'll have. We were born for these times. We were born to be the faith keepers. We were born to be the ones that stand up and show our light when the darkness is all around us. Don't go fainting and falling apart when times get rough. We're the ones that are called upon to be the light and remind others when they need a reminder, when they're going through the valley. And we all do. We've all had our challenges. As a matter of fact, you'd be surprised at the challenges some people have gone through, and they're joyful every day. Maybe because of those challenges. I read a book recently, and I won't tell much about it, but it was, the author used a pen name because she didn't want people to track her back, because she wanted to protect her family's privacy. And it's the book is called A Girlhood. And the family has a transgender child. And she and her husband were made for each other, she said, and both their careers were perfect for them. Their lives were perfect. Their 3 older kids. Well, you know, if you've had children, you know that you've learned a lot about children by that point. You could write a book yourself. They're all different, each and every one unique, and they come into the world that way, and you treat them that way, to allow them to become the person they need to be. Their 4th child, they thought, was just as normal as any other, a beautiful baby boy. And by the time he was 2 years old and able to talk, he started saying, "I'm a girl. I'm a girl," long before anything had influenced him. Long before that, nothing had influenced him. Instead of gravitating toward the boy toys that the older boys in the family had and that they provided for him, he gravitated toward the girl toys. And when he was old enough, he started putting his pants, wanting to put his shorts on. He would put both legs in one leg of the shorts so it would look like he had a skirt on. Now tell me he wasn't born to that. Well, the mother and the father, of course, were perplexed. They don't pretend that they didn't have their moments of wishing this were different. That they didn't have their moments where they prayed this were different. But it wasn't. This was their truth, and they could do nothing but love this child and support this child in whatever way that turned out, however that turned out. And so they did, and they chose to do that, and they chose to find schools that would be understanding and supportive. They lived in the South, and one day they got a knock on the door, and it was the Human Services, and someone had reported them as not being good parents. So all of a sudden, not only was there a threat, but there was a threat that all 4 of their children would be taken from them just because they had tried to love this child and allow this child to be who he or she chose to be. So they got busy, and they called their friends that could support them, and they had a lot of friends that did. And in the background, they chose to find where they could live that would be a more forgiving place, a more loving place, that they could find more resources for families like theirs. And they didn't forget their older children. They wanted them to be unique and special too, and not to be affected by this, but they were. Each one of them loved their younger sister, wanted the best for her. They were supportive of her and gave her courage. And so throughout it all, this entire family learned to be different through this difficult challenge. Wasn't easy. They would have prayed it away if they could. Because not only did they have the threat of being exposed and maybe the child being bullied, but there's also a huge danger of transgendered people being killed. And so they had that all the time to think of. And especially boys that have become girls. That's somehow more intimidating to the world than the other. And the father was at some sort of a gathering, and someone else came up to him and said, "Oh, how unfortunate and how terrible for you that this happened to your family." And the father set him straight, lovingly. He said, no, not unfortunate at all. You could say we were surprised, but then we have found it's been a tremendous blessing in our life. Our lives may be the greatest blessing that's ever come. So I guess the message I have for us this morning is life is a gentle progression through valleys and soaring heights. Our job is to feel at peace through it all. Fortunately for most of us, we don't have a challenge like that, but we do have our challenges, don't we? We have our losses. We lose our beloved pets. We have fear for our families. We lose children sometimes. A spouse, a family member, a friend. We have losses that are deep, that might keep us sitting on that couch for much longer than a day. But we have the promise always that we will come through the valley and it will get better. It always does. That's a promise. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Reverend Judy. We give expression to our appreciation for all that is offered here at Unity of Gulfport. Please take your offering in your hands and say along with me, Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust in God.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song to bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Some trails are happy ones, others are blue. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you, everybody. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song to bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you until we meet again.
Y'all come back now here.
How joyful are we? Thank you so much. We do believe in bringing joyful music into this sanctuary, and it just, I don't know, I just think it makes it a little bit more sacred, don't you? They do call it practical spirituality, and so we are going to practice it. We're thankful for these gifts and tithes and every person who's present here in the sanctuary this morning. We ask that they would be blessed as they go about their day and have an extremely, extremely joyful week. Amen. Now let's bless these children. Jeremiah, you look about 2 weeks older than last time I saw you. Oh, my goodness, look at all these kids. Y'all come on in. Look at the kids. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We hold the Christ in you, empowering you to do great things. So it is. Hold on a minute.
Sorry. These are really nice. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. the presence of